This month's quick tip is a deeper look at the layers, compartments, and all the dysfunctions that can go wrong in the lower leg and foot. Diving deep into flipping things upside down, a different perspective always helps to change things up. With my client prone, I'm going to start by lifting her ankle up off the table so that her knee is flexed, and I'm going to rest her ankle on my shoulder. Two things here. Number one, if this makes you a little uncomfortable, you can always use a towel as a buffer. And number two, make sure that your body mechanics here are on point. As I make my way up or down the posterior calf, I'm using my palms to pull all of the tissue away from the posterior aspect of the tibia and the fibula. I'm going to connect this work through the heel and the foot before I repeat these steps. But as I do, I want to point out three important things that we're going to focus on. Number one, a muscle can cramp or a spasm. Number two, a muscle fiber can cramp, also known as a trigger point. And number three, fascia can also cramp. It's really important to note here that fascia, when it's thickened because of trauma or overuse or a repetitive strain, can start to build up fibers that actually have been found to have contractile tissue in it. We can't actually control these contractions, but if this is true, these involuntary contractile fibers start to guard and protect around an area that has taken a little too much abuse. Do our feet and our lower legs fit in this category? I think so. So as I repeat these steps yet again, I want to focus my intention a little bit differently each time. There is no doubt that cramping, spasming, trigger points, muscle guarding, and fascial restrictions all exist in this area. Whether or not your client has plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendon issues, the beginnings of lower compartment syndrome, or just general pain in this area, this work addresses the entirety of the complexity of the lower leg and foot. As I offer the heel a little extra love, where a lot of this connective tissue seems to come and converge, let me present one more bonus to this particular technique. Because I've got my client prone, when I flex her knee, the position of her lower leg is now upside down. So in addition to all of this amazing work into the tissues, I'm also poking gravity in the side and giving my clients blood vessels and lymph vessels and even nerve vessels a break from the pull that they feel every day. But with all of this amazing work into the soft tissue, let's not forget the bones themselves. With my client's foot in this position, I'm using my fingers into the plantar aspect and my thumbs into the dorsal aspect, and I'm grabbing each of the metatarsals, working my way from medial to lateral or vice versa, and creating a separation that, for all intents and purposes, is pretty much like the icing on the cake at this point. With these last couple of stretches, I want to be sure that my left hand is stabilizing my client's ankle while my right hand is bringing that stretch all the way through the toes, making sure that the toes are dorsiflexed up or down, and that stretch is felt all the way from the toes through the ball, through the arch, through the heel, down the Achilles tendon, and into the calf. Focusing on one tissue or one dysfunction has its benefits, but connecting everything is pretty hard to beat. Soul food is food for the soul of your foot, but also because of its carefully curated ingredients, it's great for the ankle, calf, and knee too. Next week's From the Vault video answers the age-old question, how do we stretch the hamstrings, and maybe throws in a bonus technique or two. And if you don't want to miss a beat or a good deal, head over to my website, sign up to get updates on what's new and next, and free shipping on your first order, because that is a good deal.